Yo ho ho and a bottle of Plunder Patrol making top 8 out of a regional without Runic. Don't be like the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash the subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more booty. Alright, well, as is tradition out here, we have another regional breakdown as we are heading into Cyber Storm Access here, where we'll get the chance to see a lot more goodies actually prevail, hopefully, here. Your highest representation for this event was none other than Kashtira. Anybody surprised about that? Yeah, Kashtira continues to be the big old meanie head that it is in the format. Not just kidding, Sprite was your highest representation. You thought that Kashtira was actually slowing down. No. It was Sprite all along. I will tell you that in terms of metagame development, Sprite has really finally figured out its metagame plan, and it has taken quite some time for this to happen. Running it up on the back here was Kashtira. Made you think that Kashtira was once again running this regional, but that's what you get. I will tell you that it's kind of nice to see a little bit of the transition here, but Kashtira still won the regional, so I guess they were still victorious after all. We also had one branded deck taking it on home. You kind of start to question a lot of the format here and how long we're going to continue to see that deck stick around. We also had MathMech taking on home another finish here. Let me tell you, MathMech just being the dominant force that it has been for a majority of this format, just being able to OTK players. Players don't actually know how to play against this deck. And then off of the shore over there, far off in the distance, is Plunder Patrol, actually making waves on the metagame. And I know a lot of people are actually very happy to see that Plunder Patrol actually has, grabbed the format a little bit here and actually shaken things up quite nicely. Let's pass on over to Top Deck List. Winning our regional here was none other than Cash Money Dollar Bills. I'm sporting off evenly matches in the main deck. I'll tell you, the amount of evenly match that I have seen in this format has been so out there. It has been like the go-to card for this format. Whether or not you can thrust into it, you main deck copies of it, it's pretty up there. We are playing double Cosmic Cyclone, which is kind of interesting to me. The Cosmic Cyclones actually give this deck a chance to play through, back row-ish problems in the main deck, and that's actually kind of important. We haven't really seen a lot of players, I guess, take precautions like this. Most people just toss things like that into the side. It's been around, but it hasn't been a huge active part of the community as of late to see those Cosmics in the main deck. So that's actually very nice to see. We also have Gamma and Driver in here, and Nightmare Corrupt Ridley doing its thing. All right, next up is Sprite, taking home the second place here. We have the Tetsu Erat Newman in here. For those of you that have been paying attention, for, Tetsudo here being the little card that has kind of carried on. It's been very nice. This build is also playing the one Dupe Frog here. That way, when they do make the totally awesome through the Reaper-Docus, they can actually summon out the Dupe Frog and then kind of do the little inconvenience play on the opponent. That little power play actually is pretty good. The only problem is, by playing that, you do create like the dead draw of the frog, so you kind of got to decide of, is this play going to be worth the dedication into the build for this? The answer is, it was good enough to get second place here. I wouldn't consider the brick bad enough that, you wouldn't consider playing it, but it comes down to, deck building and what you really want to see here, especially as we head on into the next set here. It's definitely something that I could see sticking around. Next up here, wow, we have more Sprite here. This one actually maximizing on the Tetsu Erat Newmans. We have the Divine Carnates in here. I'll tell you, for the power of the Divine Carnate, and the amount of people that have actually been playing it, it has not had a very crazy turnover, as sad as that actually is. I think a lot of players just kind of been all over the place with it. I think that it is a very good card. It adds a lot to it, but players, I guess, just aren't really exploring it all that much. I see that we are playing Melfi's in here. You gotta love what the Melfi package actually adds to this deck. Outside of that, looking at this, obvious adventure package is really, really strong. Evenly matches for the thrust. A lot of the same standard stuff that you kind of have been seeing in terms of development for this deck. Once again, very, very, very standard approach. Next up here, fourth place, is our branded Despia deck. We are maximizing on triple super polymerization. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? The ability to just fuse with your opponent's stuff for a free discard. Of course, triple brand fusion, triple fusion deployment, triple playing Allure of Darkness in here. Well, technically, I mean, the Allure can get bad cards out of your hand if you do open up, you know, like a Dead Fallen of Albaz or something. You can filter into some better cards, you know, get a dead Kaiju out of your hand because you are main decking triple Kaiju. See that we're also playing triple Eradicator Epidemic Virus down there. The only other deck that I've seen really give two craps currently about playing Eradicator has been Labyrinth. But Labyrinth has been so far in between a lot of these regional tops that it has left a little bit to be desired in my personal opinion. So I do definitely think that there is room for other decks to explore, especially, you know, this deck having all of the dark monsters in the world. Next up here is our next sprite list. Wow, all these sprite lists were really, really up there. We are playing the Water Enchantress package, so we can Rai Armezia, make Brave Token, laugh at the opponent all the way to the bank. Very, very standard. We are main decking the Harpy's Feather Duster. That's a little bit more out of left field. You don't really see all that much. And we're main decking double Zeus. Is that normal? Do we normally see that many Zeus? Yeah, I guess we do normally see that many Zeus. I guess it just kind of stuck out to me that, you know, having more Zeus is like a cleanup option. It's pretty good. We opted to main deck Imperms, shifting the Evenlies down to the side deck. We do have Thrust to search for it anyway, so it's not like it's going to be that big of an issue to actually see. We are playing the Dupe Frog. Okay, we are playing the Dupe Frog to be able to special summon off of the Totally Awesome. Yeah, everything else looks pretty good here. I see we are playing the Seed Kaiju as well. Yeah, everything for this list looks very, very streamlined for what you want to see. Next up here is our Plunder Patrol deck. Wow! This deck actually did really well. Now remember, as popular as Plunder Runic has been, this is an actual nice callback here to not see any stupid Runic cards in this deck. Alright, you're still going to be relying on how good the power of talents is. God, talents in this deck is so good. Jord did add a lot to this deck. You're going to do a lot of synchro plays. The Brave Armezia stuff is going to actually give this deck some negates and actually allow this deck the chance to kind of set up. That's like the biggest thing of Plunder Patrol is like how slow it can be at some points to kind of get the curveball going. But once it sets up and does its thing, it goes relatively easily. I see that we are playing Bystials in here as well, and of course standard side deck choices to kind of detour a lot of the opponent's strategy. Everything looks pretty good here. Once again, I like what we're seeing here. Next up is Cash Money Dollar Bills, the Disappointment. Once again, 4 books in the main deck here and an econ. We are not playing Crossout Designators. No. We opted for all of the standard hate that we could for the matchup. And there was only one other cast here in the top cut of this event. So kind of takes some time to think about that. I think that they might have been over-prepared. You do have Evenlies, Imperms. Wow, this deck is massively teched out. And then, of course, we have the Nightmare Crypt Dribblies down there. Now that people have stopped playing Lingaribo, we've seen that this deck has definitely had a chance to change up a lot of its game plan here. And because of that change in, you know, massive adjustments here, it's looking pretty decent. I do hope with the future ban list that we do see some sort of like change away from this, but we'll have to wait and see here. It's been very interesting so far. And then the last list we have here is Mathmech, aka Small World Turbo, for every single good card that my deck has going for it. We are playing 1 Equation, 1 Superfactorial, Null Induction, and we are side decking some anti-spell fragrances down here as well. I do like what we're seeing here in terms of that. That is it's actually pretty good. Gammas, Driver, Ghost Bells, you name it. This deck has everything that you want to see. Overall, that is what we're looking at so far. So what do you guys think about this breakdown? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.